I am going to make this video short. I just want to alert people to what my next few videos are going to be about, or mostly be about, and why the need for me to make these statements and declarations loud and now. Women against feminism became for a while, a big thing. It was trending on Twitter for a while, and got mainstream news coverage. Then not even a week later came the hashtag feminists are ugly. Now it's my understanding that was actually started by two feminists who wanted to, I honestly don't know, encourage feminists to post selfies for the fuck of it, because you give women cameras and they get carpal tunnel syndrome clicking away taking pictures of themselves. But it started trending on Twitter too. Many people were posting anti-feminist rhetoric and memes and had from what I could tell roughly the same amount of feminists as anti-feminists. Then a few days later came yet another, if I were a boy, where 12 feminists began posting pictures holding signs talking about how they would stop doing pesky male behaviors. This backfired on them quickly. The bulk of it became countless women, some of them from the Women Against Feminism group, posting pictures of themselves holding signs that said if I were a boy, I would have been held down and had the tip of my penis removed, and other anti-circumcision rhetoric. And then came, much like my recent video, no shortage of jokes mocking them such as if I were a girl, I'd be looking at my boobs, and other things such as denoting female privilege and male disadvantage. This too began trending. I am seeing an amazing amount of opposition to feminism, which means this movement, the men's rights movement, is about to get an influx of newcomers. The Western world is getting fed up with feminism. The unfortunate thing is, that doesn't mean they're becoming pro-male. The bulk of the newcomers will be right-wing conservatives, traditionalists and whatnot, simply because the opposite of feminism is just republicanism. And while their influx will be useful, after all, I am not above using idiots as tools, and blue pillars as cannon fodder, but while they may be temporarily useful, they have the potential to set us back. And with Karen Strawn giving speeches to libertarians, and you know her amazing ability to speak, I have no doubt she is not only bringing men's rights causes to the libertarians, but bringing libertarians to the men's movement. This is both a good and bad thing, and I need to be clear, I am not faulting Karen Strawn for anything, but the problem arises when the strong individualist philosopher types, the right-wing loyalists, the traditionalist conservatives, bring their regressive reactionary bullshit into our movement, and handicappers. If you're not sure what I mean, rocking mystery, need I say more? We will be getting a lot of rocking mysteries and Bernard Chapins, those who beat our movement over the head with traditionalist pro-marriage family values white knighting bullshit, and those who insist that everyone in the movement has to put on their Republican caps and champion the right-wing cause and identify as right-wing lest they be a leftist communist infiltrator. And this rhetoric, this mentality, will only validate the traditionalist family values crowd, in the exact same way that Chapin and Mystery synergically play off of each other. I am using those two, as examples of psychological political archetypes, and we're going to be seeing a lot of them coming into our movement. Now here's the thing, it is necessary that our movement grow, and by default, conservatives and libertarians, you know, people who aren't even close to being pro-male, but are anti-feminism, will be the bulk of what makes up the newcomers. The reason is simple. Feminism is a widely understood and accepted ideology. Conservatism and all forms of small governmentism is also a widely understood and accepted ideology. The notion of men being people is a radically new concept. So the newcomers, as I see it, are like raw materials. They are needed, but they must be refined into proper men's rights activists. And in this refining process, a lot of waste is going to have to be disposed of. I haven't the patience to deal with blue pill bullshit. I'll leave that up to someone else. What concerns me is the blue pill Dradkin type, that is lingering in our movement for years. He has been offered the red pill by Barbarossa, Stardust, Man-Woman Myth, and myself, and still doesn't get it. He won't take the pill. Those who are just fundamentally blue pill for life, those who just can't swallow that large and jagged red pill, these people are useless burdens to our movement, and must be removed. Over the next few videos, I hope to cleanse the movement of these chronic blue pillars, these Stradkins and the like. I am going to try my hardest to ram some red pills down some throats, and teach why it is important that we distance ourselves, turn our backs completely on those who have been given every chance in the world to take the red pill and refuse. Again, the influx will always be mostly blue pill conservative types. It is important that we form a strong cohesive red pill /MGTOW pro-male foundation for this movement, so that our movement can act as an ideological learning platform. We must be able to use and convert newcomers, not get used by and converted by newcomers, and so that will be the focus of my next few videos. And I understand how it does not benefit us to start acting like some cult where everyone has to think the exact same thing, adhere to the same dogma, lest they be cast out of the circle. I understand the danger of this, we can see with atheism, plus as Thunderfoot pointed out, their collapse, being based on censorship and their cult mentality of everyone forced under threat of banishment to nod their head and blindly conform to whatever the most extreme and hysterical speaker says. We can't afford to get like that and become one more cult of idealistic mental fuck-ups who construct an echo chamber and call it a movement. While I intend on scraping away some useless dead weight, and teaching and instructing others to follow suit, I am not going to attempt to create an echo chamber, which is, as always, why I don't censor people's right to disagree with me, but I will be making a loud distinction between those I believe are legit MGTOW and men's rights activists, and those who are everything else. Newsflash, I consider those who are everything else to be enemies to our cause, and again, I say we always let our enemies speak, but let's not allow them to continue with their bullshit, under the banner of MRA or MGTOW or Red Pill or whatever. I recently had an argument with someone, who like many others I would argue with, say but I am not an MRA, and then go on to state his primary ideology, and claim to be MRA sympathetic, to which I told him something along the lines of "You're another Jessica Valentine my eyes bitch. I am seriously tired of the distractions in this movement. It is time we purified it. We have been far too inclusive for far too long, and I realize there appears to be a touch of contradiction, between saying we mustn't become an echo chamber or an exclusive cult, yet saying we need to stop being tolerant and inclusive. What I am mainly referring to is our inability to make a distinction between a legit men's rights activist, which by default includes any legit MGTOW, and those who are merely anti-feminist, but not exactly pro-male. It is a delicate balancing act, but right now I haven't the time for juggling and diplomacy, with me hitting 4,000 subscribers yesterday, and causing me to reflect on my popularity and thus influence in the movement. On top of the fact we are about to get a wave of newcomers, I believe the time is now or never, for me to teach these things, and try to clean the movement up, or more accurately, for me, who is one man, to teach you, who are 4,000 soldiers, how to clean the movement up.